Welcome to the Millennial Mrs. Podcast with me, your host, Trinae Watson. And like each and every other podcast episode, I am here with some amazing women. Tonight, I am super duper excited to have a person that I have known for decades and decades and decades.
Yes.
I feel like I say that with a lot of women that I bring on the podcast, but Jeraka is probably my longest friend. So
Right,
without
right,
further
right.
ado, I will introduce the world to, I grew up knowing her as Jeraka Brown, but Miss has turned into Mrs. Jeraka Lucas. Welcome.
Hi, thank you
I
for
am
having
so
me.
excited to have you here. Well, I just wanted to bring you on here because several things. The purpose of the Millennial Podcast is to bring together amazing women who are thriving in their areas. Listen, we get all types of curveballs thrown to us each and every day, but I love to see people win. I'm going to take y'all back. I was in the first grade. So y'all know I went to a million schools, moved around a whole lot. In the first grade, I went to Harlan Park, and it was my first year in public school. And I never forget. Jericho was my first sleepover. I got an invite, and her mom sent out the invite with like a 3-page letter of like all the details. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes, she was dramatic. But look, I'm a dramatic mom too, but we'll get into all of that.
Miss Pam sent out a 3-page letter, okay, explaining who she was, who everybody was in her household. And she let it be very known, you can come over, you can have a tour. And so my mother got it and was like, and I didn't get to go over sleepovers. I didn't get to do that. My mother didn't play that. But when
Right.
my mother got that invite, she was like, this is like me. I need to meet this woman. And when she met Miss Pam, they instantly clicked, and the rest was
Right.
history for Jerica and I. So I
Yes.
would be remiss if I did not tell that story of the lovely,
Yes.
especially when I'm looking at you, and it's like looking at her.
I know the older I get, I'm like, I look just like mommy. Oh my goodness.
You have her entire face, but your mom, she definitely was the epitome of like a wife back then. Like I remember when we came over for the sleepover, we were making cookies like with the
Hmm.
thing, and like she
Yes. We had
listen.
our princess nightgowns and stuff. Yes.
Yes. Getting on your brother nerves, like
We did that. We did that. Get on his nerves. Yes.
that
He
was
got
our
on mine too,
childhood.
but I got on his nerves, I think, a little bit more when we were younger. He paid me back when we got older.
Absolutely. So that brings us right into tell the world who you are. I just gave a quick introduction from where you come from, good stock. But tell the world who you are, girl.
Girl, who am I? Listen, this season of my life, I'm going big me up, okay? This is about me. So first, I want to say I'm everything, okay? I'm everything I want to be. Um, and even in that, it's still like I'm always changing. You know what I mean? So I would say I'm a chameleon right now. I'm just like adapting to my environment. I don't know. It's a lot, but I'm a wife. No, I'm a woman of God first. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a teacher. I'm a newly author to a children's book
Yes.
called I Am Zara. Okay, I'm a
And y'all better
published
get
author
it.
today. Okay, um, I am a daughter. I'm a sister. Um, I'm just whatever I need to be in that moment. You know what I mean? And everything that I've been through in my life, I'm learning to just each moment take it with a grain of salt, take it with grace, And whoever I need to be in that's who I am.
I love that. I love that. And I think you even touched on it. Listen, you're a millennial. You are in the car because you got to
Yeah.
multitask and figure it out and get it how you get it. Listen.
Listen, whatever I need to be in the
Yes.
that's who I am. Yes.
Yes. I love that. All right. So I want to take us back. Take
Okay.
me back. We have had, it's been decades since we have like caught up and everything. But I want to kind of, before we get into the author, because of course we're going to touch on that book. Let's talk about you being a daughter. I think that was probably you coming out. That was your first role, right? And it
Yeah.
helped you shape all of these other roles. Tell me about your upbringing and what that looked like and how it shaped you into being who you are today.
Being a daughter, that should be the next book, right? My parents were like night and day, but it worked, right? They just knew how to be parents. If they didn't get anything right in this life, I feel like they got parenting down pat. Um, and I feel like watching them be parents to my brother and I, because my brother and I were two completely different people, and just to see them like maneuver in that, it taught me how to adjust for the greater cause of life. It taught me how to understand compromise, right? Like when you're a parent, you're just doing it. You don't know what you're doing, but you know you're doing it, right? And so I learned to respect them for that. I learned to appreciate that they are humans too. We look at our parents like they're superheroes, like they know everything. They had to like pull out these magic tricks to make us happy and stuff like that. But as a daughter, I learned that our parents are human too. They make mistakes. They're not perfect. They're learning as they grow, and that helps shape me to see people for who they are and to be supportive for people who just who's learning how to become themselves or become the person they want to be. So I would say as a daughter, I'm just grateful and appreciative for my parents, and they gave me great values and principles. I'll never forget this one time because I always have a story. I was in high school, and you remember the little trend where we wore the skirt over top of the pants
Uh-huh.
with the collar shirt. So my mom was like, "You're not wearing that corny stuff out the house. You're not gonna keep following the trends. You are in this world, but you're not of this world, right?" Because of course we went to church, and I was on all types of boards and stuff at church. And she would be like, "I'm not raising you to be one of these bums out here in the street. I am raising you to be a woman of God." And girl, I gave my mother the blues. I was so mad. Like I just wanted to be cute like my friends. And that moment sat with me. Like when I go through my hardships and stuff in life, I remember her telling me like, "You're in this world, but you're not of this world." So that, and then the other story with my dad, he taught me resilience because all that I've been through, I thank God my father taught me this. I was 12 years old, and I had just came on my period, and my mother called my father. She called everybody. Oh my God, she was calling the whole world like, "Mumu,"
Yes.
that's what they call me. "Mumu started her period. Oh my gosh, y'all gotta call her and say congratulations." And I'm sitting there like, "Congratulations for what? For what? Like I'm hurting, I'm bleeding, right?" So my father came over, and by that time they had divorced and everything. And he said, "It's a part of life. Suck it up." And I like even going through his final arrangements and stuff. I came on my period when I found out he took his last breath, and I was going through his arrangements and stuff. And I was like, here we are, full circle. And it's like you reminded me that I need to suck this up because it's going to be okay. And I take that everywhere with me. Like my mom told me I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. And my father told me like it's a part of life. Suck it up. So when I go through everything that uh made to break me, I remember those two things that my parents told me, and I feel like that has made me the woman I am today.
I love that. And I can see your mother calling everybody. As a kid, that young, I feel like you were probably my only friend that had a two-parent household. When I like think back on like everybody kind of had like teenage moms and was single parents and other things.
Yeah.
But you were the only one that had a two-parent household. I remember when you told me that your parents had gotten a divorce. I remember telling my mother, I was like devastated, like it was like my parents, because
Yes.
it was like, how dare they? Don't they
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
But for
Like y'all gonna
you,
put me through all this?
right, for you living in it, how did you navigate your parents getting a divorce?
Girl, oh, it was horrible. It was horrible, like on so many different levels. As a stepmom now, as a wife now, as a mother of my own, I understand it 100%. But at the time, I just went through so many different waves of emotions, like growing up admiring my parents, like the neighborhood loved them, the schools that we went to loved them, the basketball teams that we played on, our friends, like everybody. It was like my mother and father was like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the hood, right?
And
And
was.
and so when they got the divorce, I instantly felt like it was my fault. Like when they say that children blame themselves, like that is a real feeling. I felt like little things that I did, maybe I got in trouble too much, or maybe I cried too much, like it's making me emotional now. I just felt like it was my fault to the point where they had to put me in counseling because I couldn't understand why this love that they shared that I grew up to admire, like just fell apart. Like,
Mhm.
that's another thing about being a child of your parents. You don't know the battles that they're facing outside of raising you. And so I went back and forth. I manipulated households out of vengeance. Like, well, since y'all gonna separate, I'm gonna get in trouble then, and now I'm gonna blame mommy. And when I tell daddy mommy did this, he gonna feel sorry for me because I was highly intelligent. Like, oh, so I'm gonna tell mommy that daddy did it. I just wanted my way because the only thing that I really wanted was my parents to be together, and that like I didn't understand what happened. Now I do as I'm older, but I didn't understand what happened. So I just started to like have this vengeance towards them. Like I'm gonna manipulate y'all then.
Mhm.
But as I got older, I want to say like around 14, 15, my dad had by now he was in his marriage with his second wife, and I watching my stepmother and my mother like feud. I kind of like took a step back, like, no, I don't want to be the reason why these two women are battling each other like this. I mean, their battles was crazy. We know my mother,
Let me
sweetest
say
woman in the
something.
world,
Let me say
but
something.
baby,
I think I see things on social media today, and I'd be like, "Oh, baby, that would not be happening if Pam Barron was here." Okay, baby.
Perfect. No,
What
not
I
at
what
all.
I
My
do
mother was
know, what I
heavy.
do know is somebody I know who would have shut it down.
Shut it down. It would have cussed you out and then bow your head because we gonna pray about this. After she didn't called you all of the names, like that's another thing. My mother would cuss you out so bad, might even beat you up a little bit, and then come back and be like, God loves you, and you like, what the
She would stand on
what?
big business.
Yes, all the little sayings, clock that. just give me my money, all of that. She would have been on it. Like she done blew up. She done blew up on this internet, okay? But
Yes.
yeah, I knew at that age I didn't want my stepmother and my mother to feud over because of me. You know what I mean? That's when I learned that I'm like a girl's girl. Like I don't really get into the beefing with women. You know what I mean? I don't like that type of stuff because I feel like as a woman first, but also as a black woman, it's like we have so much pressure on us. So I knew what my mom was battling being a single mother, but I also knew what my stepmother was battling coming into the relationship with my dad and him and my mom being who they were. So it was just kind of hard to navigate both of them. Like we talking, my mother and father were together since they were 13 years old. They had my brother at 15 and 16 years old, and then they got married. So you talking about like kids growing into adults as parents, husband and wife, and then you come in as the other woman, and everybody like, well, who are you? Because Gerald's still my brother. You gotta fight your way into this. You know what I mean? So I learned how to not down other women through that experience. The other thing was it kind of separated my brother and I a little bit. So that was the emotion that
That's what I was
I
about to
dealt with.
say, because you stayed with your mom, he went with your dad.
Yeah,
So how was
yeah,
that far as your sibling relationship?
that was up and down too. Like my brother being who he was in this world, like basketball, the ladies' man, the cool guy, that everybody hung around. He was funny. When we came together, it was all love. It was fun. But then when he had to go back with my dad and I had to go back with my mom, it really like put me in this little bubble where, and still to this day, when I go through any emotional turbulence, I go into that bubble. It hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that's my big brother. Like, anytime I got into any type of trouble, I looked to him. I always wanted my brother around. I remember one time he was fighting this dude in our block, and they were like across the street, and I ran across the street, and I started hitting the dude too, like you not my brother. We beating the dude up in the gutter, and it was like those are the memories that I'll never forget because I didn't care what was happening as long as I was with my brother, and so that split just really tore us apart. And then once he started playing basketball and traveling and all of that stuff, like we really grew apart. So that was just hard to navigate. That separation, like our family, the four of us, we were really, really close. Like we were really close. And even now, just living without them, I'm getting a little emotional. Um, Having to navigate it. It's a lot for me because we were really close. We were really close, but like I said, I always have in my mind like my father said it's a part of life. Death is a part of life. So, we're not all gonna be here forever. So I just kinda like suck it up. But us four, like we was that family, like nobody could get in between us. Like nobody, like if even with my parents being divorced, it's like you fuck Big Gerald over, you gotta deal with Pam, you gotta deal with Jeraka, you gotta deal with Gerald. Like you fuck any one of us over, it's like you gotta deal with some stuff, okay? But that divorce definitely taught me how to continue to grow in my emotions and understand that it's gonna work out for the greater good. I didn't mean to get emotional, but
Listen, and I'm a crybaby, so ma'am, but it's okay. On the podcast, that is what it's for, to talk about real life tragedies
yeah,
and real life challenges that we face and how we navigate them.
yeah,
As you said, you grew up, it was four of you guys, and now unfortunately your mom is gone, your brother is gone, and your dad is gone, and you are here. I want to go back to first, let's make it light, and then we're going to go back. Okay. Let's make it light. Let's have some
yeah.
fun. So, you had a stepmom and now you are a stepmom. So, what are some of the positive, fun things that you took? I'm saying positive. We said light. We're going to take it light. Then
Yeah,
we'll go
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay. What are some of the positive and light things that you took from that experience of having a stepmom to now you being a stepmom and being able to try to be understanding to navigate that relationship with the children, their moms, the whole
Yeah.
ordeal?
When so my husband and I went to high school together. But we later connected in 2016. And coming into it, I knew everything that I felt, good and bad, from my stepmom. And so, like, I came into it green, like, yeah, we're gonna be a happy family. We're gonna blend this family. Oh my goodness! Like now, I'd be like, I went into it all dumb, like you know what I mean, just all open. But like I said, when I was like 14, 15, and I saw my mom and my stepmom feuding, when my then boyfriend told me, he was like, I have three daughters, and one of the daughters was not biologically his, and so I definitely respected that about him. So like I went into it like, all right, well, my degrees are in education, early childhood, so like I'm open to this. Like I'm comfortable about it, you know. And so I felt like I was trying to give them the world, honey. Like clothes, we shopped all the time. We had dates, took billions of pictures, and I wanted to expose them to so much in so little time because all I ever wanted to be was, a career woman, a wife, a mother, and so I married into an already made family, and so we just like I came in with so many different ideas, girl. We would make stuff, we would cook together, um, we like dressed up and stuff. Like one time, this is when we first got our apartment together, and I dressed them up, girl, and they was like drinking fruit punch, acting like they went to the club and stuff. And I still got the video, and I'll be like, the youngest one, I call her Tushi. I said, Tushi, wait. But she like, I'm going out, girl. She had a little purse on with my heels on, and they was just like super big on her. And then the oldest one, we call her Moo. I'm like, Moo, well, what you got on, girl? She like, I got this dress on and my glasses. They had to be about 3 or 4. And I just remember cracking up like, oh, I can't wait till I have a baby and we get to do all of this all together and stuff. So like that's like some of the positives. Traveling. We took them to New York for Christmas one year. Um, we took them to the American Girl store. I loved doll babies growing up. Of course, I had the Barbies, Barbie everything. And so I just wanted to make sure they had those positive and fun experiences with me. Like my stepmom, her thing was basketball. So she wasn't really girly girl. And I mean, I adopted, the basketball and all of that stuff because my brother played. But when I became a stepmom, I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I wanted my stepmother to dress up with me and all of that stuff. We would go to the stores when, I would go over to my father's house, but it was like, it wasn't dressy. So I was like, well, my stepdaughters, I'm going to definitely play dress up. And that's what we did. Like, we would play in makeup. They would do my hair, grease my hair. I'm walking around with patches of grease, grease in my hair, stuff like that. So we had a lot of fun. We definitely had a lot of fun growing up. And now they're older. They all doing their own little thing. And I got this little baby. She's just crazy a little bit. So I feel
Love
like
to
my
see it.
stepmotherhood definitely built my muscle for parenthood, so
Do you still have a
we had a
relationship with
lot of
her?
fun. Huh?
You still have a relationship with your stepmother?
No, I
Okay.
don't. She once her and my dad divorced,
that divorce was really, really tough. I think it was worse than my parents. She just went her way and then I went mine because of course I was a lot older and into my own thing. And it was just like I don't really have no ties. I still talk to my step brother and stepsister, but it's it's not like it used to be.
And why do you think that that divorce was harder on you than your parents?
Um, I think it was harder because it was cold. Like I could still with my parents, I could still feel the love, but now that I'm older, I could see the differences. Right? You outgrow a person, but that doesn't mean you don't love them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
With my stepmom and my dad, it was just like circumstances
Mm-hmm.
from my perception of it. It was just like, oh, we married for circumstances, and those circumstances are done with, and we're gonna move on, and that's it. It wasn't. It was like love was lost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just cold. It was just like maybe they wasn't meant to be. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then my father, he would always refer to my mom like my ex-wife passed away. You know what I mean? No, he would say my wife passed away. He never referred to my mother as his ex-wife. He would always tell people like, yeah, my wife died or
So
my wife
people,
passed away. And I'm like, Daddy, y'all got divorced way before that, okay? Like that ain't
wait,
your
wait,
ex-wife.
wait, what was the time difference? I feel like we
So
was like in elementary school when the divorce happened, right? Or middle school?
I was in when it finalized, I was in the fifth grade. Yeah.
Like elementary into middle. And she
Yes.
didn't pass till
High
college.
school.
High school. Okay. I found out
Yes,
in
but
college.
see, he didn't refer when she was living, he didn't refer to her as ex-wife. He would say my children's mother.
Okay.
Like when he would talk to people, and then like my mom, she never really said her ex-husband. She always called my father tender. So she would be like, yeah, tender this. Like they never really like acknowledge that they weren't together anymore. Like, of course, everybody on the inside knew, but if you went outside looking out, it's just like, oh, they separated a little bit. They just beefing right now. But it was like, no, they was really divorced, living in two different households. But their bond was just, it was a soul tie, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And with my stepmother and my father, I just felt like it was just real cold. Like it was a complete split. Like, all right, you take your kids over there, I'm gonna take my kids over there. And it's like we all act like none of this existed. So I think that kind of messed with me more because I am a loving person. Like, I'm an empath. I feel
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I didn't feel no love there once they divorced. So it was just like, how can you spend 15 years with somebody and then you just separate and that's it? You know what I mean? That messed with me a little bit. Like, at least my mother and father will always argue and, all right, look, we gotta get it together for Gerald and Jeraka. You know what I mean? But with them, it was just like nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
no phone calls, no congratulations, like no happy birthdays no more. It was just cold, real cold.
Wow. And I think oftentimes when parents divorce, I don't think that they take into consideration. Well, maybe they do take into consideration. Like we hear all the time people say you can't stay together for children, right? But
Right.
then and then we hear like the sayings like your children need to see you healthy and thriving and all of
Mm-hmm.
the things. But I do think that there is a portion of that children internalize, sort of like what you were saying, as far as
Yeah.
blaming you and thinking
Yeah.
that it was your fault. I didn't grow up with my parents married. My parents were together when I was very, very young, but not
Mm-hmm.
enough for me to be like, oh, they broke. Like it was like, oh, they broke up
Yeah.
next. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it was different. So I can see that. So how was it navigating life after you lost your mother? You said that happened in high school.
Yes.
So how was life losing her?
Girl. All right. Now this is where it's been almost 20 years later, and I still, no, actually, this year makes 20 years. Wow. I still struggle, so I'm gonna try to get through this. Um, it was devastating. It it was the first time I realized that God was real, life is real. We're not always gonna be here, and you could be here the one day and the next day gone. Because she passed away from a heart attack. She got a procedure surgery done, and a week before that she had broke her foot, so they had to do surgery on her foot. And I think it was too much on her body, and she developed a blood clot, and it stopped her heart. Um, and so as a teenager, I was trying to like really cope with. I just saw my mother, and I'm never gonna see her again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, nowadays teenagers are grown. It's like, oh, you got grown feelings. But like when we were teenagers, we still was kind of innocent a little bit. And I remember like falling asleep and waking up like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is life. Like I don't know what I was thinking before that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I was really thinking before that. But it brought me out of my selfishness mentally. Like, you know, teenagers, we want to do what we want to do. We got our ideas about stuff. But when I was asleep and my dad woke me up out my nap, and I remember coming up the steps and I saw everybody head down like what's wrong with why are y'all heads down? Like I had just woke up. And so even in that, my dad, I could feel the love from my dad. And he told me, and it just like, it crushed my world. Like I feel like having my daughter pulled me out of what I fell into when I heard my mom pass away. But I couldn't manage. I went through all types of like stages, girl. I was listening to Slipknot, Linkin Park. Like I thought I was a emo gothic. Girl, I don't know what I was thinking. I was all over the place. Like my mother was my world.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was my world. And I remember in the courts when her and my dad got divorced, she was like, "You can have your son, but this world not gonna take my daughter." And I didn't understand that until I gave birth to my own daughter. Like, dang, mommy, you was protecting me. Like you wanted to build me up to be a strong woman, like a strong woman of God, like a strong woman of faith. Like she put her life on the line for me. Like I can't see it no other way. Like my mother was a mother. Like, and she didn't play about her legacy, which was her daughter. Like she didn't play about it. So even in my moments where now I don't feel like getting out the bed or I want to give up, it's like I hear my mother like, "Mo, apply yourself. Like apply yourself. Get up and apply yourself. You have this to do. You got." And I'm like, "Mommy, I don't want to," but she didn't play. And it's like I'm just learning how to stand in that power, of being raised by a great woman of God. You know what I mean? Like you said, she gave that 3-page invitation, but it was like, I want you to trust me with your child. Like I would want somebody to trust with my child. You know what I mean? And so, I I'm finally learning how to navigate this life without my mom. Even in losing my dad and my brother, like I'm just finishing up grieving my mother. You know what I mean? So I thank God. I thank God for the experience young, because it shaped me as the mother and the wife and the teacher and friend that I am now. But it was difficult. It was difficult.
Okay, now we're gonna make it light. I need something light. Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back.
Yes,
we will come back, child. But
look, I see you over there. I think everybody miss Big Pam. Okay.
Because listen, I still remember literally reconnecting with you when I was in college and you telling me, and like, I remember I was working like a work study job and I was like at the work study job, like boohoo and crying. Like the way that I'm close to my mother, like that's you and your mother. So like, I literally was like you, when I told my mother, it was as if she just passed, because like that's how I felt it in that moment. So yes. But speaking of that 3-page letter, how has that type of mothering and that type of legacy, how has that shaped you being a mother?
Girl, let's first clap it up for me getting through this. I done kept the Lord even alive. It's it's like it's like a balancing beam, right? Because my mother was very overbearing, and I knew what it kind of did for me. Growing up is like, Mom, give me a chance to go experience life. Like, give me a chance. But also it's like that's her way of caring. So okay.
So being a mother.
So being a mother is like I'll let her go a little. You know what I mean? That was me as a child. Like, Mom, let me go explore. And then it's like, all right, when you get too far, Rory, Mommy gotta come be that helicopter mom. Like, what's going on over here? My baby over here. So y'all not gonna be doing too much.
Let me just say this. I thank God for helicopter moms. I thank God for the overprotective, because when you sit back and you think about think about where we lived at that time. In West Baltimore. I don't remember what street she was living on, but I was living on Carrollton. Literally, I remember like walking home from school when my mother picked me up and being in a shootout, coming home from school. So when I think about the level of what we endured at that age, the things that we saw, like literally, I remember when my mother picked me up and they start like people, like boys started being in a shootout. We were walking down Curry Street. My mother ran down an alley, and I literally remember like my mother, they was like running the same way we was running. And she like was like, Jesus. And I remember looking at her face when she said Jesus, and she was looking both ways as they were shooting. And my mother was running so fast, she grabbed me and we got out of there. But I say all that to say, it's people that's doing this and kids getting killed because their parents are not there. These children are coming up missing. These children are doing all kinds of stuff. These babies are having babies. So I thank God for
helicopter moms. Yes,
the helicopter moms. So guess what? Rory, come back here now.
Okay, you're too far. Mommy can't reach out and pull you back. But yeah, like, and then I'm a teacher. I teach first grade. Look at that, full circle, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'm a first grade teacher, and so the things that I see now in education now with our youth is like, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna ever let Rory go over people's house. You're not gonna get no 3-page letter from me either. Like, Mommy, I love you, but times have changed, and my baby. Now y'all can come to my house, and you can even stay the night with your child at my house, okay? But my baby she's not going nowhere. Nowhere. But other than that, like, it's fun. Like, I dressed up with my mom, like the shopping, the makeup. Even now, like when I put my lipstick on and stuff, I'm like, even though she's 2, I'm like, do the butt, you want some? And she be like, yes, Mommy. And she'll put it on and be like, So it's like those little sweet moments. And it helps heal me a little bit. Like, each moment that I share with my daughter, like, we'll go to the mall together. We go out to girl. I treat her like she already a teenager. Like, she's very intelligent. She's very witty. And I just like those moments. I think about like if my mom was here, what would she say I should be doing with my daughter? You know what I mean? Even down to like her little arts and crafts and birthday parties. Like I know my mother would be going off for her grandbaby. So I try to like really take it up a notch with her. But other than that, it's relaxing to be a mother to her because I get to see myself. I get to see my mom, my grandmothers. I get to see the generation of women who brought me up, who prayed for me, who fasted for me, who just went to war for me so that I could be the mother to Rory that I need to be. And that liberates me. Like I try to put myself aside, my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, and try to be what she needs in that moment. So it's a liberating experience for me right now. I can't say when she get older and
then
she
she gonna
start
have she
being
had the attitude and everything else.
girl, like
It'll be
and then
different, but for right now, you can enjoy it.
I'm enjoying it. I married her father, so I know what's over there. Just hope and pray I can manage my baby girl.
Love it. I love it.
Yes.
So I want to switch gears to your brother, who was larger than life, especially in Baltimore,
Yeah.
who to do all kinds of things everywhere. You from Baltimore, you know who he is.
Yes.
And taking far too soon. And again, just kind of bringing awareness to gun violence and all of that kind of things. How has that been for you navigating having a brother larger than life, right?
Right.
And losing him, and while the world, while Baltimore, while everybody is mourning him, but it's like to you, he is just your brother. Like that's it. So
Girl.
losing him, how has grief been? How has navigating life been without him and all of the things?
I think now I'm okay because spiritually, um, God has really shown me who He is through all of this. I've always had a relationship with God. I grew up in the church. I developed my, relationship with God at a young age. But losing Gerald the way that we did, it crushed me and it unlocked a new fear of life because you talked about us in the shootouts when we were walking home and stuff. I was shot when I was 4 on Curry Street. So losing my brother to gun violence, who saved me when I was 4, like Gerald saved my life. And so uh I felt like I felt like I had to get past I couldn't save his life. Right? Again, I was asleep and I woke up to the news like I did with my mother. They both died at 34. I was asleep and I woke up and they told me what happened. And first I was just like, what? Not these songs, not the funny guy, like what, like wait a minute, where did this come from? And so I had to manage that fear because at this point now it's like I've been shot, my brother was shot, family members. It's like bullets are just out here waiting, for you. Like bullets do have names, you know what I mean? And so I had to manage that fear. And then the hurt and pain of you're here 1 minute and the next day you gone. I had just seen him and I was like, I was like, brother, I love you. And he looked at me through the car and he was like, I love you too. And I didn't know that was going to be the last time I saw him because we were getting back to that little Gerald and Jeraka prior to El Pern's divorce. We were getting back to that. And it sent me like I went back into a downward spiral. Like, me and my husband started having issues. Like, I just went back into that rabbit hole, and it was like, what do I do now? And then it felt like the whole world, like everybody was looking at me. Like, I remember going out into the open and everybody's just waiting to hear the news. And I had to suck it up and be strong again. And I had to tell everybody, like, Gerald didn't make it. I mean, like, the hospital was packed. And I'm like, Gerald didn't make it. And while I had to focus on giving this hoorah for Gerald in the city, like, yeah, you know, G songs, we gonna turn up, we long live G songs, all this. I was sitting there like, yo, that's my only sibling. That's my big brother. It was basketball tournaments and stuff, like, you know, all these things. And even though it looked like I was functioning on the outside, it was like, yo, y'all got brothers and sisters out here. I lost my only sibling. Like, the only person that could feel what I feel missing mommy. You know, the only person in dealing with my father, because my dad, he struggled a lot after my mom passed away with so much. And I'm like, although Gerald and I were like separated, we were still locked in. You know what I mean? Like, this is my big brother, he gone. So I had to like manage all of those emotions all over again. Got the divorce, then my mom's passing, and then this. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, God, chill on me, God.
I say that a lot. I be like, give me 50 feet. That's my saying. Give me a second. Can I breathe?
Girl, like what? Like, and so, you know, I had envy because girls were like posting Gerald at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I'm like, I don't have that as an adult. But I think Gerald didn't come around me as much because I reminded him so much of mommy. And I think he just really couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So, like, we didn't have those videos and stuff when we got older, because I think he just really didn't know how to like be around me, because I'm still stern and firm like my mother. Like, when you come into my house, you better speak. You know what I mean? Like, you only speak when spoken to. Like, yes, you are a child. Yes, you have your rights, but guess what? Stay out of adults conversation. Like, all of this new age gentle parenting, no. Like, I feel like our generation really is the it generation. Like, we're the last of the Mohicans, because this, I don't know what this is out here. And so he couldn't like take me. You know what I mean? Because I was just like mommy. And I think every time he came around me, like, he missed out grandmothers, mommy, and just like the old days. So he didn't stay around me long. And I was very envious of that. Like, how dare they have all of these videos and I have not one as an adult? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going through the Polaroid pictures in the canister, pulling out pictures of me and my brother. But everybody else, like, they flooding the internet with all of this. And I remember telling my dad, like, Daddy, I'm mourning, but I'm angry. I'm jealous. Like, again, all of these emotions, like, what? Like, it's not fair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they love G songs, but I'm missing Gerald. I miss Gerald.
And it's a difference. It's a difference, and I think people misconstrue the persona of a person and like the actual person. I think that when people pass away for some reason, all of a sudden everybody has to know this person and be the closest to this person. It's a whole ordeal of in consideration for like their family.
Yeah. And then even with like all of the stories and stuff that was online, I actually got off of social media for an entire year. Like, every time I would log in, it's like his face popped up and I was like, I can't do this. So like I literally, that's when I knew that internet, the machine was something else because I was able to mourn properly, start my grieving process. It actually like beat in real life. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, but it again, it was a lot of emotion, a lot of negative emotions though. Like it was hard for me to find the good memories and filter them out with all of the negative feelings that I had. Like I think that was the hardest part, and that's where God showed up for me. Like,
He always does, right when we need him, right when we feel like we can't go
girl,
on, right when we feel like the whole
mm,
world is against us and we in that corner. That's when he shows up and be like, you could
girl,
have just avoided all of this, and then
all
you
of
would.
it. All you had to do was just come to me. I be trying to. It's like God be like, girl, I done told you to call me so many times, but you just don't want to pick up the phone. And I've been right here on the other side waiting to receive you. Like, what? Girl, I got stories. So after Gerald passed, we buried him, and it was this big show. I remember like,
You did a great job, by the way. It was a show, but you did
thank
a
you.
good job. You
Thank
had
you.
you rolled out the road. It was Baltimore royalty. You did your thing.
Listen, girl, it was so much going on. I was breaking out in hives. Like, honey, they was coming up my legs. I was like, what's going on with my body? But I was literally carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, literally. But um, then God showed up because me and my husband had started. I remember saying to Gerald a month before he passed, I said, "You ready to be an uncle?" Because my husband and we were like, all right. He had finally said, "I'm gonna have another kid," like, because that was something that we went through in our marriage. He was like, "All right," and I said, "Gerald, you ready to be an uncle?" And he said, "Yeah." And that kind of like warmed my heart because we were a little estranged for a little while. And so after his burial and stuff, this was in June, I started having these dreams. And Gerald was coming back to me. He was like, "Jerry, I miss y'all. I want to come back home." Like, I mean, vivid dreams, like clear as day, like this is real life. And my dad and I had moved down to Virginia at one point, because I went to Virginia Union, and then we moved back to Baltimore. And like, I would have in my dream flashes of us in Virginia because my father kept begging Gerald to come down to VA. And I kept having flashes, and I would be like, seeing Gerald, he would have different outfits on. And I was having dreams back to back for like 3 years, Trinae. 3 years. Gerald, like, "I miss y'all. I want to come back. I just miss my family so much. Like, I'm really not gone. I'm still here." And I was messed up, honey. Like, what is going
I would
on?
be.
Girl. So, um, he passed in 2019, and here we are, fast forward to 2022. I told my husband, I said, "You know what? I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to have a baby. I went through fertility treatment. I got my fallopian tubes flushed. I was taking all time. We could not get pregnant. Like, I'm like, it gotta be you. You need to go get checked out. Like, ain't no way I'm going through all of this. And like, I know you just had kids a little while ago, but you need to go get checked too."
Because
And
it's not just
so,
me. It's you.
girl, so I I had gave up. This was like in January, February. I'm like, yeah, it was January. I'm like, I'm about to take a girls' trip. I'm done with this. I'm going off in front of my husband. He just sitting there like the good man he is listening. I'm going off like, fuck this. I'm sick of it. It's women out here who get 5, 6 kids. They don't even take care of them. And all I'm asking God for is one more. Like, that's all like, girl, I was a mess, filthy rag, right? And so it was spring break in April, and I was eating some oatmeal cream pies, and I just threw it all up. And my husband's like, "Oh, you pregnant?" He literally said it. I was like, "What?" I'm like, don't. I told you I'm not ready for all that. Don't keep talking this pregnancy stuff with me, girl. So he like, "No, you really pregnant." I'm like, "Well, how you know?" He like, "It feel different." We know what he talking about.
Right,
So
right.
I was carrying low key. I was carrying around pregnancy tests in my purse. So I go get my purse and I go in the
You was
bathroom.
ready.
And mind you, I was having these dreams with Gerald, and he like, "I want to come back. I miss y'all." All of this stuff. And I go in the bathroom, and it popped right up. I had like four different 4 different pregnancy tests in my purse, and I took all of them. And it was like ding, 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 ding. Like the smiley face came up, the plus sign came up. I had the digital one that said pregnant. I was sitting in the bathroom like, oh shit. Like, oh my God. So I tell Reggie, and I called my dad, he called his mom. And I still didn't believe it, girl. I went to Walgreens the next day and bought 5 more pregnancy tests. 5 more.
Wasting money. Wasting money.
I'm not even exaggerating. Long story short, I found I was 9 weeks pregnant. Almost through the first trimester, girl. 9 weeks pregnant. Like,
you was good and pregnant.
Good and pregnant, girl. Doctor, like, she goes and do like the ultrasound and stuff. Baby heart strong. Rory heart strong, girl. We did the little ultrasound, and she had a little ass to us, like, yeah, y'all can kiss my ass. That's how she was sitting real pretty. She was sitting real pretty,
being Pam.
Right. That part. So I was at work, and one of my students, her mom came, and she was a medium. And she had found out Gerald was my brother. And she was like, I didn't know you was G-Song's sister. Like, he be coming to me. And I was like, what? Now, mind you, when I found out I was pregnant, I ain't see Gerald no more. She was like, I ain't know Laura from a hole in the wall. She was like, yeah, he be coming to me like, you know, he won't come back. And I told him, like, you know, the only way you could come back is through the womb. And I said, well, I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh my, look, she looked at me just like that, like, and I looked at her like, what you mean? He won't come back. Girl, I ain't seen my brother since. When I tell you, when I gave birth to my daughter, everybody was like, oh my God, she looked like Gerald. Oh my goodness. Like, she acts like him too. Play too much, gets on my nerves. Like, we be beefing real bad. It's crazy. But it's like, God showed me, like, don't look at it like I took something from you or that you lost out. Look at it like greater is coming. You know what I mean? And so losing him now, when I look at it, it's like, again, my brother laid his life down so that I could have my baby girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I have to look at it for me to keep my sanity, to keep my peace, and to understand that God, we may lose something that is real close to us, but God gonna give us something way better, okay? Way better. And so that's how I cope with losing with you know, my brother and everything. Like, he's my daughter. Like, that's Rory. Gerald can. He used to play, you know, like dress up like girls and stuff for Halloween. Like, yes, bitch, yeah, all of that stuff. Like, he would play
yes, all the video.
he would play like that. So now it's like Rory act like her uncle. Like, she look like him. Like, breath stink like him. Sleep like him. Like, play too much. Like, that's Gerald, but he just came back as a little baby girl.
And the fact, first of all, the fact that Charlie looks. Girl. The fact that she is a spitting image, like, she is more him than his son.
Yes. Yes. Gerald, all of Gerald kids have a piece of the strong personalities that he had. Like, Jalen, little chill, laid back, reserved type kid, but he gonna put on when he want to. Charlie is like the pop out your mouth pop shit, like attitude, like I slap you in your face, like I hit you in your mouth type. And then his other son, Taji, is just like, I'm gonna be in the house chilling, you know what I mean? Like watching TV shows and stuff like that. So all 3, and then you got Rory. So all 4 of them just act like him in so many different ways, but they
so
all my babies.
You have had to endure so much grief at this age, as we have like navigated, but you still seem to find joy. Where does that joy come from?
Listen, God. Like, you know how like them means be like it's God and then the period, literally, like that's it. I have nothing after that. Like, period. That's it. No
Sometimes
more.
That's the full
G-O-D.
sentence. That's the sentence.
That's it. Like, in the mornings, I listen to my scriptures, and then I put my praise and worship music on, and I be like going in, like especially when I come up out them depressive moments, because they come and they be hard, girl.
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, drop depression off in Jeraka like today, and it's like I gotta battle my way out of it. But then, baby, when I come out, it be like, God, where, who, what? Yeah, he everywhere. You ain't never there, like. You know
And
what
what
I mean?
when you say he drops the depression off, what are some of the things that you do to like kind of
Shake
combat
it.
it? Yes.
Well, I'm just gonna be transparent. Like, I let it take its toll. And here's why. When we look at children, right? Children don't know if the battle is good or bad. They just know there's something blocking them to their next point. Right? Like, you ever see a baby like trying to pull a coat, but the coat stuck and they like
Mm-hmm.
until the help comes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, thank you, mommy, thank you, daddy,
Mm-hmm.
or thank you. It's like I have to go through the depression until God sends the help. The only thing that I do in them moments is pray. I talk to God like, God, I can tell you today I'm not getting up and washing my butt. It's too big. It's too much. I don't even. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that I'm gonna wash up today.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I'm not going to feel like that for the rest of my life. So, God, you got to send all of the archangels, my mom, my dad. You got to send all of my ones that have transitioned to come with you. Send them. Because
Mm-hmm.
today, I like, I just came up out of one episode, and I think it built me up to like not go that deep into it. This time was really, really deep because I found my grandfather deceased in his house. And
Mm.
so this last one was like, I thought I was having a heart attack. I had to be rushed to the hospital. Like, baby, I thought this was the end of my life. And so I was just like, God, like, you have to do something, because I barely even want to feed my baby. Like, Rory was like on the brink of suffering in this episode, and as a mother, that didn't sit well with me. So I think the next time it comes, I think I'm a little stronger to deal with it, because I can't ever let it get to that point with my baby. Like, looking at her look at me, and I'm like crawling out the bed to just feed her. That was too much for me. You know what I mean? I felt like a little failure. And so I just let the episodes really just take its toll on me until God drop off that help. Like, all right, baby girl, here's all your strength. Get up. And when I come up out of it, I'll be like, all right, well, you could check that off. I'm ready for war, literally. Like, Trump, what's up?
That's
You
how
wanna
I
go
be.
toe to toe with me? Like, what's
I'm ready for
up?
war. Let's go.
Who won it? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like,
you know
let's
what I
just
just
go.
went through? Like, who won? I'll fight anybody today. Like, girl, I'll be in the car like,
Yes.
Satan, you a real whore for real, Satan. Like, what's up? You ain't see that you can't break me yet. Like, I'll be in here really. Ain't saying throw something my way again. Like, bro, I promise you I'm knocking it out the park. Like, and it might be a grand slam. Like, it might be bases loaded down here. And you really gonna be mad. Like, I'm really about to send you back to hell. Like,
Yes.
that's
Yes, I
how I
say that
be.
all the time. I remember like going through postpartum and like a lot of times like even if like stuff happened like now, I'm
Mhm.
always reminded of like those moments at my lowest when I was at my lowest after I had my oldest. It
Mhm.
was so bad. I made a video to him. I wrote him a letter and I made a video. Now I never wanted to do something physically to myself, but I
Mhm.
definitely wanted to go to sleep and not wake up because that
Yeah.
is how bad I felt. But I made a video and I remember like crying, like this is this I can't be your mother. Like I love you so much and you don't deserve this. This
Mhm.
is not like I could not navigate it. I could not shake it. I could not do anything. And like I'm often reminded, because I still have that email as a reminder, which I'm always glad that I kept it. I'm glad that I kept it because it's a reminder of God's grace.
Yes.
And I always joke and say he'll keep you if you let him. If you let him. If you let him.
Period. That's the key word is if you let him.
Baby, he'll pull you back from the brink of brokenness, the brink.
Okay.
And what I hear in that, it resonates with me as a mother. We oftentimes have to navigate these roles that we play, and us as women, sometimes we be like dying on the inside, but like feeling like we still got to show up as a wife. We still got to show up as a mother. We still have to show up in all of these roles. And society does not, I think society knows, because like at the end of the day, we ain't the only ones going through, right?
But
like we don't highlight that kind of stuff. We dress up really, really pretty. We put it together. We post the stuff on Facebook and social media. And then people are like, I'm the only one going through.
Right.
I know I certainly felt like that when I went through postpartum. I felt like I had never heard of it before. I never knew anybody that went through it. I never knew anybody felt like this. So here I am. I'm not going to tell nobody because now I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. So now I'm hiding it. And it's like, child, please, there's a whole group of us out here going through life. And feeling like we can't, which is part of the reason why I created this platform. So yes, that right there is touching on some things. I want to get on the book really quickly. I know time is getting away. We had a time tonight. But tell us about this.
Before you go on, I just want to say thank you for this. Because again, that helped, right? When you sent me the message and you were like, the world needs to know, I was like, okay, God, this is my sign that it's time to get up and speak up. So I just want to say thank you. Like, before we get off of this thing, like, thank you, because you were the help in that moment. Like, you are a blessing. And I always like watch you and your mom, and I'm just like, yo, they really out here doing it. Like, you just dropped your book and all that stuff. And I'm like, yo, they really out here doing it. I feel like if my mom was alive, you know, we would like be like how you and Miss Tony are together, in business and fellowship, like as wives, as mothers, like y'all just really killing it. And so I be watching y'all, honey. Now, we don't talk every day and speak every day and all that, but I be watching y'all, and I just want to say y'all definitely keep me alive in moments. Like, I have to let you know that you were the help this episode. I really thought I was done, but you were the help, Trinae, really. Like, I'm getting emotional too, but you asked me what I do in the moments. I wait for the help to come, and that was you this time.
I thank you for that. Sometimes we have to be obedient. So I did the first season of the Millennial Misses, and sometimes you get discouraged. Like sometimes like God will give you a thing. And when I first, full transparency, when God first gave me this, I felt like I was not qualified. I felt like I didn't have a perfect marriage. I felt like I was not like, what am I going to say? Who am I going to say it to? Who's going to listen to me? And God kept saying, do it. And I did the first year, and then I let school be my excuse to stop. And God just kept saying, get back on it. And I was like, well, I don't even know where to go. And when I tell you, like in one day's time, God gave me everybody to boom, send this person a message, reach out to this person, do this. And sometimes you just got to be obedient and get out of your own way. And as outgoing as I am kind of introvert in some ways. So like, but it is definitely my goal and my joy to try to help somebody else along the way. I always say I don't want the trials and the tribulations that I go through to be in vain. Please let it be a purpose in it so that I can help somebody else. And yes, girl. And my mother loves you. You know, my mother be rooting for you. She just, oh, Pam. That is little Pam. That is little Pam. That's what she always
Girl.
say. But
Yeah.
yes, girl, we are rooting for you. I love to see you doing your thing as a wife, holding things down. I see you, girl, getting all cute, making sure your man is taken care of. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love seeing you as a mom. It definitely just reminds me of your mom and the legacy that she has left in you.
Yes.
And so I'm going to say your mother is proud of you.
Thank
That
you.
is the legacy. That is what she put in you. And just like you said, when she was in court and she said that she wasn't letting you, anybody can do whatever, but you wasn't going. You have, listen, you have lived out her wildest dreams. I know it. And that if she was here, I know she would be in the background like, yes, girl, yes.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know that to be true. So please tell me about this book. We all got to get
Yes.
it.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me pull my book out first because I just put it on here. Let me pull it out because
Yes, and I'm gonna put it
I
in the link. So how can people get it?
so right now I am working on my Amazon link because we have to reformat it to fit into Amazon's
Okay.
publishing format to purchase it. So we're working on that right now.
Okay.
But you can message me on all of my social media platforms. I'll
Those
send
here.
it. Yeah, I'll mail them out to you. I just have the physical copies. But once that Amazon link get together, once we reformat, I'll post it out. And then I'm waiting for urban bookstores on Greenmount to contact me back so that I can put it in the bookstore. But I am Zara.
I love it.
And period. I'm so proud of her. Um, Zara is really my oldest stepdaughter. Now I'm gonna get emotional because I want my oldest stepdaughter to know that I love her and that she taught me so much about being a woman and raising a young woman. And so the story is about a first grader who doesn't want to go to school. Um, she's bigger than most first grade, the average first grader. Her hair, like if you can see, her hair is like real coarse. She's dark skinned and she gets teased. And so her mother tells her what her Gigi, because my stepdaughter and them, they call me Gigi. She remembers what her Gigi told her, which is, look in the mirror and say that I am beautiful, I'm courageous, I'm sophisticated, like all of the affirmations, but make sure you put I am in there, right? And so Zara comes up with this idea like, well, I can say I am, I can use all of these affirmations from A to Z. And so she goes to school and she's like, I'm awesome, I'm brave, I'm courageous. And she goes all the way down the alphabet, but she stumbles on X, right? And in real time, I was stumbling on X. So I rerouted the story um based on Zara. So I started looking up X names and Zara came up, and Zara with the Z means princess in America. So I just changed the phonetics in the name. And so she calls her grandmother and she's like, I'm stumbling on a letter. And so, you have to get the book to read the rest of it. And
Yes.
Zara, she figures it out and she do what she needs to do to feel better. And so it's just a book to young women, to young girls. Like, even though it's a children's book, I feel like as a woman we can learn from it too. You know what I mean? So it's difficult being a girl, being a woman out here. So every day we gotta look in that mirror like, I am like, who am I? I am what I am today. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and it may
So
change daily.
that part, I
Yes.
always say, baby, I can't tell you who I'm going to be tomorrow. I can tell you who I am in this moment, but tomorrow I might be somebody else. I don't even.
Yes. So we do affirmations in the morning on the way to school with the boys, and some mornings I'd be like, I don't believe nothing you said.
Right, girl, because it's like, what? Do you even believe what you're saying?
Yes. So what is next for you? What is on the horizon for you? What are some things that you have coming up?
So like I said, the book release in the store is definitely one. I am looking to go back to school. That's definitely a goal. Even if I just enroll at some point this year, that is at the top of my list. Um, I wrote another book right after my dad passed away, so I'm working on getting that illustrated. Um, and I really want to start my women's group. That God has put this on me since like 2015, and like you said, we get in that way. Every time I go to like really dive into it, it's like something happens, and it's like just being transparent. That'd be my excuse. Like, all right, God, like I try to do it, but you see this is happening. So this year I really want to finish. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'll send out invitations. We're gonna meet up here, and then when people start saying, "Oh, I can't make it," I'm like, "All right, you know what? I'm done. I ain't gonna do this," because I'm shy too. You know, I get in my own way. I feel defeated at times, so I really want to get my stage women's group together. Like, I
And
really
sometimes you
that's
got to go with the goers. And so you can't
yeah,
get caught up in the numbers. You just have to kind
yeah,
of go with who's willing to go. And you go
yes,
with the go. And what happens, in my experience, what I've seen is oftentimes people want to support you when it's popular to support you.
that
Like,
part.
people sometimes will sit on the sideline and see if it's going to work. Like, is this something that's going to be successful? Is this something that's going to be great? And then when they
Mm-hmm.
see it's great, it's like, oh, I want to come the next time. Or I was busy this time and I didn't come. No, you knew about it. You just didn't think
Mm-hmm.
it was going to be great. And that's
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and I get it. Like, people have to see it take off however they need to see
Mm-hmm.
it, but don't let it stop you, right?
Yeah.
Do your
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
last question. What if you could go back to 18-year-old Jeraka, what would you tell that girl?
You know I'm an open book and I'm very transparent. Honey, I would tell 18-year-old Jerka, like, stop sleeping around. Cause the man
Love you.
that is going to come into your life is going to be a pure reflection of what God is, who God is, and how much he loves you. Because my husband, despite men and women indifference, whatever, my husband worships the ground I walk on. He loves me 10 toes down. He will be whatever he needs to be for me. Like, he's an amazing dad. Like, he holds me down. Like,
Period.
that dot. Period. Like, so I would tell her, like, girl, stop sleeping with every man you think is your husband. Because the one that's coming, baby, every day you gonna be like, oh, God, you love me that much? Like, listen, my husband, he gets on my nerves. Absolutely. He gets
That's
on my
their
nerves.
job.
That is their job. And they do that effectively, okay? They do
Listen,
that like at the
it's
top.
a sprinkle of it.
Girl, but when it's time to love me, when it's time to listen to me, when it's time to be, my rock, he's that. And so that's what I would tell myself. All of that together, like, my marriage has exposed me to me, the good, the bad, and different. Like, when I say we gotta really, as a people, start really holding marriage up to that, that level where God wants us to be, like, all of this, man versus woman, all of these topics and conversations and this and that. Like, no, marriage is real. It is of God. It's what God wants for the greater good of who we are. Like, we got to get back to that because my marriage has shown me so much, and I love my husband. So
I
that's
love
what I would
that.
tell me.
I love that. Well, I am rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm going to say it publicly. I'm going to say it all in your comments. I'm going to say it, on the sidelines. I'm
Yes.
so proud of you. I
Thank
think
you.
that anybody can be successful when they don't have to go through anything, but it's something about perseverance and being able to make it through everything that the world has thrown against you and to still be here.
Yes.
So I commend you.
Thank you.
I commend you. I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. I'm going to grab my copy of the book, and I am, listen, words will never be able to express. But I appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to have all of the details for how you can get her book, how you can connect with Jeraka, all in the description. So be sure to connect with her. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Millennial Mrs. Podcast.
See ya.